Welcome to Under Two Capes, the only show in the Comics League where Lad and I talk about comics, and I flex my comics knowledge. I am Jared.
I'm Lad.
All right, so we're talking about Volume 2 of Superman Wonder Woman, but first, recently they announced that they're doing Spider-Verse 2 that's going to be called Across the Spider-Verse, and Lad had a very important concern or thought or something like that he wanted to air, so I figured wait until we're recording. So Lad, go ahead.
Right. So it definitely seems like we're going to get more new Spider-Men and women and animals or something in this new movie that's coming up, right? Across the Spider-Verse, or if they decide to change the title, something Spider-Verse. They definitely teased it with, Oscar Isaac's 2099 Spider-Man at the end of the movie.
And Oscar Isaac?
Yeah.
Wow.
Poe.
I didn't know that was Poe.
Yeah. So I'm kind of hyped for him. Honestly, if I have to say that probably the Spider-Man I'm most hyped for is 2099 because he's always been a fan favorite of mine.
He's really cool. And I like him.
Oscar Isaac is really cool. I really enjoyed his parts in Star Wars. So I think he'd do a great job. He's
an Apocalypse.
Yep. So I think I'm really hyped for 2099. I think he's going to be really, really dope. I have a gripe.
It's going to be fun. All right, go ahead.
I have a gripe. It's just kind of like a similar problem I have with No Way Home is where I kind of want a movie just focusing on Miles, like Spider-Man, Miles Morales movie, where it's like him facing threats in his city. It can be like weird,
just him, and not like that
or spatial.
So in other words, just him, and not having 18 Spider-Men come in.
Right. Maybe have him and Gwen. You want to do a duo movie or something, or him and one other person, but mainly focusing on just his growth as a character, because I thought he was so fantastic. And I just worried it may just get overwhelmed with all the Spider-Man characters. The first movie balanced it really well, but I just kind of feel like it'd be so cool to see that, an animated film just focusing on Miles, because he was such a great character there. And I'm just worried with all the other things going on, all the other characters, he may get pushed to the side a bit.
Well, we'll see. So here's the thing. The Spider-Verse movies made Miles Morales a really popular character, so I don't think they're going to push him to the side.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right, so
I think they balanced it well in the first movie, so I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing. So
it was still a Miles Morales movie. It just happened to have all these other Spider-Men.
Yeah.
That's
right. Just well.
So on that note, and we will be probably doing a news episode about this sometime. But on that note, so we are going to discuss, like I said, Superman Wonder Woman Volume 2, the issue that deals with Superman turning into Doomsday. All right,
spoilers.
Okay, so this is going to start. So this volume starts off in the middle of a story arc. So I kind of have to explain a little bit real quick. So remember in the
previously on the New Adventures of Superman.
Previously back at the Hall of Justice. So remember when? Okay, so Doomsday is breaking through the Phantom Zone, right? Okay, so
yep.
Now he gets through. Superman fights him and has to kill him, and it's a big thing weighing on his conscience. So he kills him, and then he inhales Doomsday, because Doomsday starts to turn into a Doomsday vapor, and it's like what they added in this is that the area around Doomsday is also like a kill field, meaning if you're near Doomsday, you will get killed.
This wasn't in Volume 1. This is in the Superman Doom storyline.
This is in Superman Doom. Because this storyline starts off in the middle of it, so I kind of have to establish some backstory.
Got it.
So, all right. So he basically inhales Doomsday to keep the residual death field from killing everyone. and then he starts to become Doomsday. They sort of turned him into like a super version of the Hulk in that sense, where it comes out at certain times.
I see.
All right, I'm going to share my screen. And by the way, so for those that don't know, Doomsday was the being that in the 90s killed Superman very famously.
Mm-hmm. Was that the first time Superman died in that storyline? Okay, got it. So this is a significant...
Go ahead.
So that was a significant reintroduction of Doomsday in this storyline then, you know, the famous,
because
Superman killer.
Because at the end, everyone's like, because when we started to see Doomsday coming in, we're like, oh, wait a second, are they going to kill Superman again? But they did something unique with it, which I very much enjoyed. All right, so next. So the story starts off. So Superman is infected with Doomsday. I have to skip through this minor issue real quick. All right. Wait, what? All right, hang on. It started in the middle again. Technical difficulties, folks. That will be resolved momentarily.
The timeline's out of sync.
So this is establishing is that the two places where Doomsday has arisen, one of them being Smallville, has been placed in quarantine because of that cloud thing. Next, we open up. Wonder Woman is going to Superman's apartment because since his fight with Doomsday, he's been like a hermit. He hasn't left his apartment. No one knows what he's doing. Everyone's wondering, the hell is Clark Kent? So she goes into his apartment, and it looks like he's having a bit of a moment.
Oh, my.
And I love how they don't, how they like shadow him so you can't necessarily see his Doomsday form yet. Makes him look very menacing. So we arrive at the offices of ClarkCatropolis.com. It's their news site that significantly expanded once they outed Superman and Wonder Woman. So Kat is like is doing work stuff, and then her assistant comes up to her and says, "Oh yeah, there's a woman here that wants to see you." And then she's like, "I'm too busy right now. You go handle her." And she goes, "But she said she's Clark's girlfriend." And then Kat's like, "Wait, what?" Because Superman is a very private person. No one knew he had a girlfriend, much less an Amazon princess. So Clark, Wonder Woman shows up, reads him a voicemail where it's Clark talking very like he doesn't actually. What I mean is, she plays a voicemail and Clark is like acting odd, like he's like, "Oh hey, gorgeous. I thought I might be away for a while. Don't come looking for me. I just need some time." So Kat's like, "Does he call you gorgeous that often?" And then Diana's like, "Well, no. Obviously he does, but the cavalier way in which he's referring to her is like, that's concerning."
Yeah.
So we have a flashback with Kat and Clark having a fight, and then you can see the Doomsday spikes protruding, and then he's like, "You know what? You deal with this new stuff." He basically snaps at her. Remember, he's supposed to be the mild-mannered reporter.
Yeah. That's true.
So you can kind of see a little bit of like Doomsday Clark power. The reason why there's a tiny S on his chest is because that's where his suit is stored.
Oh, okay.
It's basically in that sigil. It's kind of like the arc reactor from Infinity War, where he puts on his chest and then just spreads the suit around him. So Clark actually takes a lasso. So what this is also showing is that Doomsday is bringing out Clark's like insecurities, because he's like, "Wait a second. So I told you I loved you before we blew up the nuclear reactor, but you haven't said that. But you haven't said it back. Aren't I good enough for you?" So in other words, it's airing Clark's innermost thoughts.
Yeah. "No, only Batman follows up to my standards," said Wonder Woman.
Well, how do you look at a bat cowl? It's like Doomsday Clark, to impress Wonder Woman, he grows spikes in the shape of the Batman cowl.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hello."
Yeah.
So anyway, we see Lois Lane is driving pretty odd, and you notice her eyes are glowing. This will be revealed. This is addressed in Superman Doomsday. In Superman Doomsday, it's the whole thing in Superman Doom. So she's breaking into a military base, but she has no memory of what happened. Wonder Woman shows up and convinces the guards to let her go because remember, at this point, Wonder Woman is the god of war.
Is her identity publicly known?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Not in the new 52.
So is she acting as Wonder Woman here, or is Diana?
She's just Diana. She's just some chick that showed up and happens to be able to tell the military what to do.
Oh, okay.
And then Wonder Woman, and then Lois is like, "How the hell do you do that?" And then she's like, and then Wonder Woman's like, "Well, they probably realized that they have a witness, so they don't want to do anything that will cause like an international incident." So again, Lois is talking with the Wonder Woman about Superman. Again, he disappeared. Then Batman shows up. He's tracking I guess Doomsday Super Doomed, because he's like, why is this Doomsday guy trying to steal Diana from me? Again, they're having that one-up contest. I would so read that book, lad.
Yeah.
So I love this. Batman's like talking to Alfred about tracking Superman. All of a sudden he hears a wham on his bat jet. He looks up. He's like, I'll call you back. And there's Wonder Woman just landed on his plane.
Huh.
So then Batman is telling her, I took a blood sample of Clark's. And right over here in this vial, this is Clark's blood. It kind of looks like Carnage a little bit.
Yeah.
And what this is showing is that Doomsday is changing him. So Wonder Woman's like, okay, we're not going to kill him. Let me handle this. I can get him under control. So Batman's like, all right, I'll be here watching you. Mm-hmm. So anyway, but here's Super Doomed.
Yeah, man, he's scary.
Yeah, of course. And then so he starts smashing the building. Batman comes in because he's crashing. Then Wonder Woman's like, get the hell out of here. I have this. And then Batman's like, fine.
Batman's third wheeling and he gets kicked out.
Mm-hmm. And then actually, I think at one point, Super Doom goes, I think Batman's jealous. He can never have what we have. And I'm like, eat that, Wonder Bat fans.
No.
Even DC said this can never happen.
He's not thinking clearly, obviously.
No, he is. So Wonder Woman convinces him, like, okay, listen, you're more than this disease. You're freaking Superman. I'm pretty sure you can get together, control it. So eventually he does. What I do like, by the way, is that here's how she hides her tiara. It's a hairband.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she just moves that down. And then apparently she only thought to like wear a trench coat over her armor.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on to the next issue. I have to skip through this. This series is going to introduce you to quite a few interesting concepts, as a matter of fact, this volume. So now, catching up again. So the government, this is again established in Super Doom. So the government, to fight Superman Doomsday, detonated so they used John Corbin, who is Metallo. This is the new 52 Metallo. And he turned into a cyborg, except inside him is a kryptonite bomb. So the kryptonite bomb explodes and covers the planet's atmosphere in kryptonite, which I'm sure is not going to cause any adverse health effects for anyone.
Yeah, releasing an alien element into the environment of the entire world has to do something bad.
Oh, by the way, here's a funny thing real quick. If you look up here at this newspaper advertisement, the new Q-Pad from Queen Industries.
Nice.
All right. So it's loading. Okay, so this is what's going on in Clark's head. It's kind of like how Bruce Banner and the Hulk have that sort of internal monologue.
Yeah.
And then Superman's like, "I'll get you under control." And then Doomsday's like, "Nothing gets me under control. I'm death. If there's anything, if there's any truth in existence, all it is this: everything dies."
Mm-hmm.
And here's Super Doomed in the suit.
That is scary.
All right, so Wonder Woman and Hestia. Remember, Hestia is an Amazon that left Themyscira thousands of years ago and lives in man's world. Hestia is a healer, so Wonder Woman's like, if there's anyone that can help Clark, it's you. So, but even Hestia is like, I'm not sure I can take this, Diana. And then she goes, "Come on, please, help me out here." So Hestia goes, "All right, I'll do my best." And then she goes, "How will you get past Doomsday's like death field?" She goes, "Okay, I have this dope ass armor."
Oh, okay.
I like how it shows that she's a healer because it has the medical snake right here on her staff.
Oh, that's
also, but it's ironic considering it's on a spear.
Yeah, it's like.
So I love that she lands and then she's talking. And remember, Wonder Woman had told her, try and help him. Do not hurt him. So what's the first thing Hestia does? Die.
Ah.
So she's fighting Doomsday. And then she reveals, so remember someone leaked the Superman Wonder Woman thing?
Right.
All right. So what happens is she's fighting Doomsday. Wonder Woman's trying to convince her not to fight. And that Clark is like not responding. He's like, "Come on, he's still in there. Don't do this." So she's like, "All right." She gets up close to Superman and goes, "I revealed your relationship with Wonder Woman to the world. I did it for Diana and for you. It was what you needed. I hate this. I thought you were good for each other. I was wrong." And then Doomsday goes nuts.
Uh-oh.
And then Wonder Woman takes off her gauntlets. Because remember, I've said this multiple times, those gauntlets, in the new 52 at least, they're restraining her power. Meaning when she takes off those gauntlets, full power Wonder Woman.
Right.
So what she does, she takes Doomsday out of Earth into space. Because what's happening is, Clark is Doomsday here because the kryptonite in the atmosphere is suppressing the Clark side of the personality, if that makes sense.
I see.
Because remember, Doomsday does not have a kryptonite weakness, despite what Batman v Superman established.
Mm-hmm.
So Superman is like, okay, I have to leave the Earth. I'm going to go somewhere like isolated. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to get Doomsday under control, and then I'm going to come back. Fortunately, I don't know how long that's going to take, but I know you guys have it in good hands. And then they make a date to go dancing when he comes back, kind of reminiscent of Captain America, the First Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets blasted by Red Lanterns. Now, lad,
what are they doing?
Do you know who these two are?
No, who are they?
Guy Gardner, who is actually in the new 52 the leader of the Red Lanterns.
Oh.
And Kara Zor-El.
Supergirl?
In this, because what happened was in the new 52, when Supergirl came to Earth, she was like your normal, average, angry teenager.
Yeah.
So, and she was basically like, "Yeah, Cal, why am I paying attention to anything you say?" Because it's like basically that this was an attempt to separate her from Superman. So they blast Super Doom back down to Earth, and then Wonder Woman. Yeah, I know, they're idiots. And so Wonder Woman shows up and goes, "Back the hell off! You're ruining everything."
Are the Red Lanterns evil? Question mark? Or are they just?
They're not evil. They were never really evil. They just work on rage.
I see. Do they are established by the Oa and everything like that, and they have a specific purpose, but just they work off of rage?
They weren't established by Oa. They were established by Atrocitus when the Manhunters destroyed his planet.
I see.
That was all established in Jeff Johns' Green Lantern. Okay. Superman, Wonder Woman 10. I'm sorry, go ahead, lad.
Red Lanterns causing trouble then.
Exactly. So, all right. So again, going back to Superman Doom. So what happens is there's this massive fleet, as you can see, that's on its way to Earth. And it's also explained that the Lois Lane thing is linked to this. Remember I said she had glowing eyes. So That's Lana Lang and Steel. They're in a ship that comes under attack, and Super Doom shows up and wrecks shop on these ships. Lois Lane walks into Metropolis, just walks in, gets enclosed in a chrysalis, and emerges as a Brainiac.
Oh, okay.
Because what is established in this storyline is that, so you know how Galactus has a herald?
Right.
Well, Brainiac has these herald-like constructs. I think they're called like beacons or something like that he sends to planets, and they take over human bodies. So Wonder Woman shows up, and we have a battle between Lois Lane and Wonder Woman. That's a sentence I never thought I'd utter.
Yeah.
So even though Superman's in Doomsday form, he still has some control over his body. So Steel's like, okay, you go take care of the fleet. I'll take care of Lana. At the same time, Wonder Woman's being hit by all these memories, like of the previous volume, the previous few issues. Ares dying and her becoming the god of war. Her mother being turned to like stone. Her dumping Steve Trevor because he's a dick. Her fighting Doomsday from Volume 1. All right, then anyway, so she's fighting Lois. She gets her under the lasso of truth. And then, so they're called Seekers, those scout things that Brainiac sends out. So anyway, who shall show up but Metallo, John Corrigan. And then, so in this, John Corrigan and Lois Lane are kind of a thing. And so she sicks Corrigan on Wonder Woman. Elsewhere with the fleet, all right, so this is a joint invasion by Brainiac and Hank Henshaw.
Hank Henshaw. Who's that again?
Cyborg Superman.
Ooh, oh, okay.
Who in this is actually not Hank Henshaw, but actually Kara Zor-El's father.
And converted into a cyborg?
Yeah, by Brainiac.
Okay.
So Cyborg Superman goes, I'm going to go fight Superman Doom. So anyway, Wonder Woman eventually prevails against Metallo. Lois Lane takes Corbin's head because that's what he's really stored in. Then they take off. So at the same time, I love this. But Cyborg Superman's like, okay, I'm going to take you out at Doomsday. So that ends that. Skipping to the next issue. Any questions so far, lad?
No. Is Lois actually a human then, or she's just being kind of possessed?
She's being possessed.
Okay.
She's being possessed by Doomsday. I know. I kind of wish they hadn't like jumped in the middle of a storyline. But it's like when I recently read Superman Doom for the first time, I was like, oh, that makes much more sense now.
Yeah.
All right. So Cyborg Superman and Superman are fighting, to which Cyborg Clark tears off Cyborg's arm and then just leaves him there, even though he's going to regenerate. The Justice League is trying to coordinate response against the Brainiac invasion fleet. And then, Steel and Lana arrive at Earth and tell the Justice League, hey, we found Clark. He's on his way back here. Oh. And they're like, oh, no. Because remember, the atmosphere still has kryptonite. So if he comes back, he's going to kill us all.
Oh.
So, but what Clark does is he says, okay. So remember, Clark is still in control of Doomsday at this point, even though he looks like Doomsday. But he says, okay, I'm going to head down there and help. Now, I'm going to make quick trips up and down into the atmosphere and out so I can like fight, come back, regain control, go in, come back, gain control. That's his plan, but it's kind of stupid. So anyway, we see all of the different leagues fighting against Brainiac constructs, and losing until Super Doom shows up. And then everyone tells Wonder Woman, Superman is back. And then so you can see here it's a global effort. Even the Red Lantern Corps are cooperating to take out Brainiac. And then Cyborg is like, we have to take these ships down really fast because of my calculations. If we don't take them down this fast, we're not going to be able to survive against Brainiac. So anyway, on the dark side of the moon, the dark of the moon, Cyborg Superman is building a portal with which the main Brainiac construct can come through.
Well, he's evil, actually?
Yes, Cyborg Superman's always been evil.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay, I forgot.
Don't you remember in the Supergirl show? That's the one thing they kept.
I don't remember.
And they did keep the classic, it is Hank Henshaw, because it was him before.
I see.
But I think they established that in the, I know at least in the animated movie for Reign of the Superman, he was Cyborg Superman because of Darkseid.
I see. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Reign of the Superman, where they were all fighting.
Mm-hmm. In the comics, I'm not sure if it was Darkseid or just, I'm pretty sure it was Darkseid again. So anyway, here's Superman just wrecking shop, and then he loses control, and Doomsday starts going toward a town. Remember, he has that death field. So Wonder Woman shows up because she's pretty much the only metahuman that could possibly take on Super Doomed. So she takes out the gauntlets and goes to war. At the same time, Steel is fighting Cyborg Superman. Not exactly the best idea, but whatever. So Alana shows up in the ship and goes and helps, but then there's a hull breach, and she's supposedly killed. She's not dead. So Wonder Woman is fighting Super Doomed, and then what she says is, "Don't make me do this," because what happened was Clark made Diana promise that if he ever got that, if she had to, that she wouldn't hesitate to kill him if he was endangering other people's lives. So she's like, "Don't make me do this. Don't make me do this."
Yeah.
So back to Steel, what he does is so Lana doesn't die. So what they established here is that Steel's suit is kind of organic, like Stark's nanorobots. So he touches her, and then some of his suit goes onto her and forms a spacesuit. So they escape, and once again, Wonder Woman is like, "Oh no, we're not going to make it." And then Batman, because he's Batman, figures out a way to remove the kryptonite from the atmosphere. This is also explained in Super Doomed. We'll cover that storyline like probably soon, so I can like fill in the blanks for this. So Wonder Woman almost kills Doomsday, but what this is showing is, hang on. So Doomsday is fighting Clark in his head, but with the kryptonite gone, Superman now comes through. And then again, she's that close to chopping his head off, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm okay." And they fight Brainiac. The portal opens, and then the main Brainiac ship comes through.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, that's a massive ship. And then that's where this ends. And this is where it's proximity to, actually, no, so Superman Doom is still going on. All right, so this is the last issue of this volume. No, this isn't. So anyway, the ship comes in. I love this. Mongol and one of the Kryptonians come through the Phantom Zone. They're like, "Oh, this is great. We're going to take over this world. We're going to rule. This will be so great." And they see Brainiac's invading, and they're like, "Oh, nope, we're out of here." They go right back in the portal.
That's really funny.
It's random, but it's hilarious. And now Martian Manhunter.
That is so funny.
Yeah, so good. So Martian Manhunter and Superman go to fight, go to save the watchtower that's like launching escape pods. At the same time, they're also fighting Brainiac robots. They save Steel, Cyborg, and Lana Lang. And then Superman goes to go fight Superman and Martian Manhunter go to fight the the robots, and then Cyborg is taken over by Brainiac. So Brainiac is basically playing with mind control. And by the way, Lois Lane is freed from Brainiac's control, but she still has like telepathic powers.
And what is that? Another Martian Manhunter or another of his species there in the right? Or
no, this is Lois Lane. I told you she's still in Brainiac mode, but she has control over her actions.
Got it.
And the reason why they're not able to be taken over by Brainiac is because they're in the Fortress of Solitude. It has shielding.
I see.
So Superman goes out to like scout and see how extensive this mind control is, and it's pretty extensive. He comes back. Wonder Woman is going into the Phantom Zone to recruit Mongol to fight against Brainiac.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes in there, and then Superman lets loose Doomsday because they don't exactly have a choice at this point.
Oh, good plan. Oh, no, not a good plan.
Not a good plan, yes. Okay, now we're putting on pause real quick because we're going to, hang on, I got to check one little thing.
Ooh. Interlude.
Interlude, that's correct. All right, so that's the end of of its coverage of Super Doomed. Actually, kind of. So what happens here is, so there was another storyline called Future's End, where like the future is like being like screwed up. In the tie-in for this, Wonder Woman becomes the god of war, and then it's just actually becomes the god of war, and she basically starts raising generals to help in the war. She wakes up and turns out she had been imprisoned in Tartarus this whole time, and she sees Superman, and then she's like, "Okay, who are you?" Because Clark and I had problems, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm Clark Kent from the past." It's really hard to explain. It's the Future's End storyline. You can ask a lot of DC New 52 fans, and we like to pretend it didn't happen. So they go through and find that Themyscira is being taken over by, I don't know who they're talking about. Let me see. Oh, Nemesis, the being called Nemesis. So anyway, the Amazons buy her time for Wonder Woman to basically go into this temple and become the god of peace. That's all this is. It's really like jarring, this storyline. So anyway, here's the last issue. So Super Doomed ends.
So did Super Doom already end in the other article, or
now it ends? Now it's officially over. Hang on, I gotta get to the beginning.
What happened?
Right. So catch up real quick. Superman was able to purge the so Superman to beat Brainiac. First, he doomsdayed out, and then drag Brainiac into a wormhole. At the same time, Superman was able to purge the Doomsday out of his system. So he's free from Doomsday now.
Oh, nice.
But for the past, I think it was like 3 months or so, he's been traveling through deep space trying to get back to Earth. At this point, Wonder Woman has just finished a fight battling Giganta, and then Superman shows up sporting a glorious beard.
Oh, nice. It looks like Tony for some reason. I don't know.
Tony Stark, Superman. Can you imagine Tony Stark with Superman's powers?
Man.
So they kiss in the middle of this massive fortress of this stadium. I almost said fortress. I don't know why I said that. So they head back to. So remember that flower he gave her in issue 1?
Yeah, vaguely.
And he said you have to like water it with oil. So she puts it in her apartment and then promptly forgets about it, and then it starts to mutate.
Whoa.
Because it needs water.
Man.
So they show back up at her apartment. They're all set for a romantic evening, and then the creature shows up.
Oh, snap. Is that the plan?
That's the plan. It goes after oil. So it's going so it goes to a gas station.
Oh, man.
And it's going to the oil lines, and it keeps growing. So anyway, Wonder Woman and Superman start suddenly to have this fight. And they're like, okay, so they have a couples fight, and this is the first time one woman says, "I love you." By the way, that's significant. She wouldn't even say that to Steve Trevor.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then all of a sudden it clicks on her. What's going on? So she tells Superman, "Go handle this thing. I have my own thing with the gods I got to deal with." So he's like, "Wait a second. It's a plant." So who could he go to deal with plants?
Poison ivy?
Close. Guess again. Hang on. It'll be revealed in a second. So it turns out, one of the Greek gods is named Strife, and she creates conflict. So that was her screwing with Diana.
I see.
He goes to Swamp Thing.
Ah, my guy.
Can't believe you didn't check out Swamp Thing.
Yeah. He went to Man Thing instead.
Man Things. I find it hilarious, by the way, that Man Thing's first appearance was in a book called Giant Size Man Thing. Yeah. That's how you know that comics were written by a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
So anyway, Swamp Thing. So basically, Superman has Swamp Thing come with him to basically go to fight this thing, and then Swamp Thing's like, "Okay, here's the thing. It's an alien plant, so I'm not sure if I could speak to it." But then he goes, "But you're a plant. I'm pretty sure you could figure out some way to talk to this thing." So then, so even what's kind of interesting is that Swamp Thing's like, "Why would I help you? Because these drilling rigs are responsible for like countless damages to fellow plants." So Wonder Woman's like, "Maybe, but this is not the way to make your point." So she's like, "All right, I'll help." And then the plant recedes. And then Wonder Woman and Superman decide that no matter what happens, they're ready for anything. And that ends. Does that end the issue? The volume? Yeah, that ends it. That ends volume 2 of Superman Wonder Woman, titled War and Peace by Charles Soule and Tony S. Daniel. What do you think, lad?
That was pretty exciting. There was a lot of storylines happening at once. That was really cool.
Yeah, I remember my first time reading this, and then it starts in the middle of Superman Doomsday, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah. Man.
That
was really cool. That was...
Yeah, it was really good. Having read Doomed, I was like, okay, now this makes sense. All right, so lad, which volume did you like more so far, 1 or 2?
I think I still like number 1 more. Number 1 had a lot of really good stuff in it.
Plus, number 1 doesn't start in the middle of a storyline, so you're like, what am I reading?
A little bit because of that. Yeah, I really like the character development between the two of them throughout this.
Yeah,
it's luckily, really a good job of showing the first chip.
Luckily, by the way, all of the issues that deal with the Doomsday part are collected in the Superman Doom trade.
Okay.
So, and they're in the proper order, so you're reading it and you're like, it flows together as a story.
Got it.
But anyway, so yeah.
That was cool. Headline. Did you have a favorite, section or?
I kind of I like the scene where Wonder Woman almost kills Superman because he's Doomsday and he's going to kill people, because it shows like she is. It basically shows the lengths that she'll go to protect people, because like she was willing to kill the man she loves because he was going to be a threat to everything.
So she gets busted for taking out Maxwell Lord, but then almost killing Superman. Like no one would have blinked an eye at that.
Because as far as anyone knew, it was just some random person. Because remember, Maxwell Lord at the time was an agent of the government. No one knew he turned evil.
Okay, got it.
No one except the superheroes. It wasn't like broadcast.
I see. Got it.
but and once again, he wasn't like actually a monster attacking people. Well, he was, but you know what I mean.
Right.
In terms of my favorite arc, I agree with you. Power Couple was way better because once again, it was easier to follow because I'm not starting in the middle of an arc.
Right. That helped a little bit, but this did a good job of continuing their relationship, showing it kind of like go through problems and facing against alien attacks and invasions at the same time.
Yeah. What do you think of the whole play off of the Doomsday arc? In other words, Superman, instead of Doomsday killing Superman, Superman becoming Doomsday.
Right. That kind of gives it something a little different. Instead of him just getting destroyed and killed by it and brought back to life eventually, they actually did something a little different where this is actually almost a little bit scarier, where Superman's kind of lost and he's turning into something like even worse. Like if he was just dead, it'd be one thing, but the fact that he's turning into a monster makes it even scarier because like he can't really trust himself. Then people can't trust him, and he's dangerous.
I agree with you that it was nice that they did like a change on the Death of Superman arc, but I almost wish that they did kind of kill him here and obviously bring him back, but kill him here because remember, a very big difference between this and when they did in the 90s, Superman and Wonder Woman are a couple in this.
Right.
I want to see how that would affect Diana.
That's a good point. You think it should have been that they should have let Diana kill him there, or do you think Doomsday should have just kind of killed him somehow?
See, here's the thing. If Diana killed him because she was going to lop off his head, he ain't coming back from that. What they could do would have been kind of interesting is that it plays off like in the original comic book with Doomsday pummeling Superman before being killed, and then somehow the Justice League is the ones that find a way to bring him back, like Batman, because he's Batman, finds a way to bring him back, because what's established later after the final days of Superman arc where he actually dies, there's no Kryptonian healing chamber in this world.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have been able to bring him back exactly like they did in the original comic. I don't know. I just think in hindsight, it would have been kind of interesting because this is a new dynamic here.
Right. Yeah, no, I think you make a good point. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
But besides that, I mean, I enjoyed this arc a lot. I didn't hate it whatsoever. I just wish, well, it's again, like, it wasn't necessarily tied into Superman Doomsday to the point where it starts in the middle of Superman Doomsday, so you don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Because remember, I was reading this trade to trade, so there's no way I would have known what the hell was going on with Superman Doomed.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when you and I were at the comic book shop and I saw Superman Doomed, I was like, I'm finally going to figure out what the hell is going on in this arc.
That's pretty funny, yeah.
One of the things I did like, by the way, is that when Superman is Doomsday, the suit molds onto Doomsday. Like you can see the suit creating like spikes, so it doesn't pierce the suit. And that's the whole thing about how the suit like molds and forms to the wearer.
Yeah, that was true. It's pretty funny because now Superman became really like muscular or ripped when he became Doomsday.
Even more muscular ripped because he's pretty ripped in this, dude.
Right. It's
anyway, so that's Volume 2 War and Peace. We're gonna keep doing these arcs because apparently it's popular on the YouTube channel. So all right. We'll do Volume 3 next week, and Volume 3 is called Casualties of War. I remember this one specifically. It's a very excellent arc to showing that these two aren't as similar as people say. Because I remember, like, one of the criticisms of Superman being with Wonder Woman is that people say, oh, well, they're too alike. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
If you actually read the storyline, not at all.
Right.
All right. So, what are your opinions before we wrap up on the series as a whole so far?
It definitely shows a unique dynamic for these characters. I wasn't sure if comic book line, series just focusing on these two characters was necessary. Like maybe it could have just been in the Superman comics or the Wonder Woman comics. But this has really changed my mind and shown that it's actually, they have a story they want to tell here, and they're doing a really good job of getting that message across and really, making it its own thing. Like this is its own comic run that it's worth telling the story.
Yeah, it's very good. And once again, it reveals a lot about Superman and Wonder Woman as characters when you put them together.
Mm-hmm.
So, real quick update on what we're gonna keep doing. So, we have we're gonna do a couple more episodes of stuff next week. I know we've been kind of slacked on the content. We're just trying to finalize everything. By the way, you get to hear. I hope if you're on YouTube watching the video, I hope you enjoy our new intro and outro. Which, if you're on audio, you'll only hear the audio. I had to shorten it because I noticed that people weren't watching past the intro because it was too long. So I'm like, I just got to shorten this.
It's like the Snyder cut of the intro.
It's a 4-hour intro.
4 hours intro.
4-hour intro, and then the post-credit scene is the actual episode.
Right, yeah.
45-minute post-credit scene.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Stay heroic, and have a good weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.
See ya.